Hi, it's Ronnie, and welcome to Crystal Barrett's May I Scraplift You, where we'll all be scraplifting somebody else. And it's going on all month long. And the person we're scraplifting today is Lisa Cuneo, and she is my scrapbook table on YouTube. And this is the layout I picked today to scraplift of hers. And it had a wedding photo, well, two wedding photos in it. So I'm going to have a wedding photo in mine. And I had the window shutters or whatever, the window that she used. At least I think it's the same. If not, it's a lot like it. I am going to use this scrap of wood grain, and it's by Paper Studio. I got a package of it. Well, there were several different uh, wood grains in there. I think maybe five to choose from, but this one matched the shutters or window or whatever it is. And she used it like shutters, and so I am too. And I'm going to put my photo on that. There will be some wood grain showing around it, but I like that pretty good. This is the Lilac collection. I think it's called Color Swatch of 49 and Market. And I don't know if those windows went in there or not because there's a good chance I added them because I thought they'd go good with wedding photos. I die cut out two doilies, and I did one with a pattern paper and one with one of the cardstocks. And I'm going to use the one with the cardstock and then go ahead because I couldn't make up my mind which doily to use and back the half of doily because I'm just going to, slide it up underneath the photo a little bit. And the picture is of my niece. Well, both my nieces, they're both nieces. And they're at my niece on the left's wedding. Um, I had a plan. I cut off the branding strip and I think that'll look pretty good at the top of the layout. And then I got to thinking I did see some borders in there in the uh, laser cuts. So I pulled one of them out, and then I got to thinking I wouldn't be able to line it up with the top of the layout. I'd have to scooch it up just a little bit. So I finally decided to go ahead and go with the diagonal stripes. I love diagonal stripes anyway. I did pull out two of the same laser cut, the purple irises. Well, I think I'll probably have a fancier name like lilac or even iris. I think they call some purples iris color. I'm not sure, but I think that there's plenty of names for it. But I am going to cut one apart a little bit so it won't be exactly the same on both sides. Although it looks symmetrical to start with here, I'm trying to add stuff so that it will not be, not completely anyhow. And y'all, my hair thunder again. It just keeps on giving. Um, oh, I'm just gonna tuck some flowers. Some of them are the acrylic, I think they're called ones. And then the others are the laser cut, and I'm mixing the two mainly to have more leaves. Y'all know I like leaves, even if they're purple. I like leaves on my layouts. I prefer green, but if they're purple, it's all right too. I and this one is going to set for a little while. I will fix a cluster at the bottom of the other one, but I couldn't decide what I wanted to do with the one on the right, but I will before the layout's over. I'm going to mess up too. And then I'm going to try to fix it. And I sit here and look at it and look at it and don't like it. So I mess up twice. Um, I am adding foam tape under some of them, but then I am putting liquid glue at the bottom so that the tops seem more dimensional than the bottoms. The bottoms kind of look like, it's down in a pot or something. And in this case, it's running into the windowsill there. Now, when I go to look for a layout to scraplift to somebody on Instagram, I will look and keep going, even though I think, oh, I might use that one. This one I thought, oh, I am going to use that one because it was so lovely. And I thought, oh, she did a beautiful job putting it together. And even though I saw others I liked, I didn't change my mind. I stuck with this one. And sometimes I'm scrolling back and forth between two or three, trying to make up my mind which one will go with the photo I am thinking of. And yeah, it happens. The problem just might be there's so many great layouts on there. Instagram, that is. But yeah, I like to pick my photos first before I pick anything else. But it is a lot of fun looking at all the layouts on Instagram. But on Lisa's layout, I thought of this photo right away. Um, See where I am at on this. Oh, I'm adding a butterfly, and I think it's down there to the left, yeah, with that cluster there. I did put a few things together. My title's there, and it's captured moment, and I am going to end up putting one of the acetates there, but it's one of the lighter colored ones and skinnier leaves. So you can still read it really easy. When you're looking at the layout, you may not be able to tell as much on the video, but when I'm looking at the layout, I can read this. Remember the other day I couldn't read one? But this one I can. And that was the first thought in my head when I was putting it there. While I was purposefully looking at the laser cuts for something else, for a little spot, I saw that trim there that I was just putting the glue on. And I thought, oh, that was look good snuggled right up against that diagonal line. And so it went there. And then I no more put it there. And I remembered I had one over in the tray I was going to put on it. And I thought, well, more layers, the better. More is more. So it went up there too. And a couple more things I think will go on there before the layout's done. And that is where I'm going to mess up before the layout's done too. Twice. In my photo, which I might be reprinting and gluing on over the top of this one, my printer has said low ink for over probably a dozen photos that I've printed in the last week or two. But, I have the Insta Ink where they send it to you. One time I went ahead and changed it when it said low ink because I had some important photos to print. And they sent me a thing telling me to not take the old one out until my printer said that it had to be replaced. So I'm waiting. Anyway, her dress is supposed to look more lavender than it is. It looks kind of on the blue side, and I think it's the fault of my printer because on screen for the digital, it looked more lavender. So, yeah, I might be tucking another photo in there. Well, there's a good chance I will. But while I am adding little odds and ends here, I want to mention that down there below you will find the master link that Crystal created to the playlist where everybody will be posting their layouts. I did look at them to see how many there was, and there was like 80 some on there today. So they are accumulating. So 80 some videos at one setting is just totally awesome. Well, you may not get to watch all of them. Some of them might be for later because it won't, pop up until the date they have scheduled. But I did look at the total. Here's, well, not here. This is not where I goof. This part I do just fine. I was pretty happy with it. But in a second, I will get another piece of rub on to put on there, and that's where I mess up. This one says sweet stuff, and then I put a couple of cross stitches with one of the stitching lines, and I had part of one go on top of the little Rolodex and part go on the bottom. At first I thought I'd have her put the date there, but then I decided to put that journaling card down there at the bottom so she'd have more room to write. I don't plan on putting it on every one of the layouts in her album, but I thought I'd go ahead and do it on this one. I went to slide my rub-on underneath the Rolodex. Well, it barely touched the paper and stuck. I pulled it right out of my fingers because I went to slide it under and thought I needed to pull the Rolodex thing up a little higher, and it just stuck. It stayed there. And part of it I got to come up, and I did try using unglue on here, but undo, not unglue, undo, and it didn't work. But if I thought of it when I was lifting that first half up that came up, yeah, it might have worked. You know how it has that little shovel thing, and you have the undo on there, and I might have been able to go underneath the rub-on because it is adhesive, but no, that didn't work. So I thought I'd cover it up with that big old leaf. Well, sitting here watching it on the video, looking at it and thinking, man, I don't like that. I really messed up there. I gotta take that off. So sitting here, I took the leaf off and I thought, well, if I scraped at that little rub on some more, it might look like it's on purpose. I didn't want to leave it there to start with because it had writing on it and it was all at an angle. And I'm much happier with writing straight where you can actually read it. And I thought, at that angle, people will think that I did it on purpose. It's bad enough, in case you all haven't noticed. We are into this layout 11 minutes and something, 11 and a half. You may all not notice, but my paper's upside down. I had so much on it before I noticed it that I left it. Besides me, who's going to be looking at it that close? We will find out. So I guess technically I made three mistakes. One with the rub-on and getting it too close in the wrong spot. One with that big leaf because it's the smallest one I could find. And one had my paper upside down. Oh, goodness. I wished I hadn't had so much on there before I noticed it. But anyway, my layout's done and I'm still rambling. See, it don't look bad there, but on the overall layout it does. But you will see in the next photo that I did take the leaf off. See, it's off. And I scraped at it all I could to get any more off that I could. So it looks more purposeful now, like, mixed media. But I want to thank you all for watching my video today and sticking with me to the end. And I hope you all click on that playlist down there and go visit everybody else that is playing along with Crystal's May I Scrap Lift You. But have a happy scrappy week. Have fun on the hop. Bye.